What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Opinionated Off-Topic. Today we're at Box Boyz, one of the affiliate shops of Fadebox. You know, the premier barbershop, I'd say, in Austin. I mean, me and Los have been getting our hair cut from Toro, the boy, for like what five years now, 6 years now, a long time. So this is a long time coming, man. Been wanting to do a podcast with you specifically. Just one of the owners here, and just kind of how you built this up, the way you've gone about it, even off camera. Like we were just talking, feels like everybody's rolled through Fadebox at some point, right? Yeah. So, super excited just to finally sit down with you, E, and just kind of hear your story, like what got you started, what got you into this industry, and just actually making it, a successful, thriving business, instead of just, cutting hair, you're actually trying to evolve, make merch, expand, build a team around you. So excited for this opportunity. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited too, because I've heard it from Carlos's point of view perspective, how it all started. Yeah. But I'm excited to hear it from your point of view, because it's, from my understanding, like you went to them and like, hey, like I have this idea, like, let's do it. Yeah. And then, but like, even before that, like how that even all like come about. But before we get into that, again, like Cam said, thank you. I know this is something we've been wanting to do for a while now. Like I would always tell Turo, and I would always tell Carlos back in the day, like, oh, we should do a podcast with E. And but finally here, I think there's always it always comes at the right time, and I think the time is now.
I think y'all started pretty soon after y'all started coming to the shop.
Yeah.
Seeing y'all.
Yeah. Because we started in 2019. 2020 really, but like late 2019.
We started December of 19. So
that's when we started,
Yeah, so it kind of started together, man. So it's kind of full circle moment. So thank y'all. Appreciate the opportunity.
But just give us a little backstory, just how this all came about.
Well, I'm first, Eric Already, owner of Fadebox, one of the owners. Shout out my co-owners, Carlos and Saul. But no, Eric Already from Taylor, Texas, small town kid, man. Just been cutting for about 15, 16 years now. Started when I was 15, so just trying to make it out here, man. That's it. Dad. I'm dad, husband, all the above, man. So that's what I am. Barber, dad, husband.
Yeah. So what was it that like drew you to cutting? Like, or you just picked up clippers one day? Did you want to cut your own hair, or is it like
being in Taylor, just no barbers out there, small town, stylist, getting my hair messed up every single time. And, so you reach that age, around like 13, 14, you actually want to start looking good and care about yourself. So I just got tired of getting my hair messed up. So went to Walmart, grabbed some clippers, or even I think might have been my friend's mom was a hairstylist. We might have took her clippers, but like just started messing with my own hair, messing it up, giving myself messed up haircuts, and then just having friends that had dads that cut their hair, so they weren't getting barbers like professional cuts either. So they're like, if my dad's gonna mess my hair up, you can give it a shot. So just went from there and just stuck with it, and then before you know it, I started getting a little decent, and then you started to be able to charge a little $5 here and there, use it for lunch money, all that stuff, or going out, buying clothes or whatever. So like, just took it serious once I needed money, I guess. So.
Yeah. When you made that like first sale, that first $5, was there like something in you like, oh yeah, like this is what I want to do, or is it like, damn, I can really make money from this?
Not really, man. So like at first it was just a hobby. It was just one of those things like, you could hang out with my friends and I'll cut y'all's hair. We're hanging out, so it's like one of those things. It didn't really start hitting to me where I actually can make money, or I need to take it serious to make money. Is my junior year, I had my first job at a car wash right next to Hooters in Round Rock.
Yeah. Oh, it's, right now it's Mr. Wash, but it's going through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, man, summer going into my senior year, I think I lasted 3 days. I was working a minimum wage, vacuuming cars, bro. It was hot, summer, hot, man. And I was like, I'm over here doing the math.
And that's a drive for you, because back then, there wasn't
30 minutes, no Toro, no nothing.
Yeah, they got to take that back way through downtown.
Bro, I remember, what is it? Like working 9-10 hours, and in the summer, getting home like 5-6. Man, I go straight to sleep, man. I was tired. Didn't want to do nothing else. And then before you know, I'm like doing the math, like, I can't do this, bro. It's too high. Like, I'm gonna start taking haircuts serious. At that time, I was probably charging like $5. I was like, man, if I do whatever amount of haircuts, I just do it. So I ended up just telling my dad, like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna stop working. He was all mad because like he didn't want me to quit after 3 days. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna cut hair. I'm gonna take it more serious. So ever since then, bro, I was like, yo, I'm gonna take it serious for money. So just started cutting. Just getting everybody started cutting my high school coaches and teachers and parents and students, of course. So it was cool.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's fire, man. And just having like kind of that ambition and drive at an early age, I feel like that's something that, you kind of just have like this acumen is like, all right, I want to be a kind of like a business owner. I kind of want to be self-made, self-sufficient. I got this skill set.
Yeah.
Like, why not start now? So like, obviously cutting hair back then and how, you're cutting hair back then, you're, starting to make some good money and things like that. What was kind of like that turning point to where you wanted to eventually open up your own shop or, maybe get into a shop yourself? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, so I started in Austin like in 2016. I was like 21 years old. And just grew from there, man. Got super busy. I was booked out. I think at one point I was booked out for like a month in advance, like to the day, like whatever. So, just telling people like, y'all think it was crazy. Just, you come up to me like, yo, can I get a haircut? I'm like, nah, I'm booked out for a month. And they probably think I'm like I'm rude, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
nah, that's really what I am. And so it just got to the point where like, I felt like I was just feeding all my clients to the barbers in the shop that I was at. And I was like, well, they're not my barbers. Like, I'm still paying my booth. I'm making more money for them. I'm making more money for the owner. I was like, well, I need to have my own shop so I can at least, if I'm too booked, I can feed my own barbers that are paying me. So that's how I looked at it. And I had met Carlos and Saul. Saul was a good client. He actually met him through the shop, and he was an every week client. We just clicked real good. And then Carlos I met actually through shoes. So, us being sneakerheads and stuff like that, met him through shoes and stuff. And, I just trusted them. For some reason, they were the only clients that are like, hey, if you ever want to do anything, like, I got some bread, I got some money. If you need help, if you don't want to do it alone, hit me. And I look at it as like, I could do it myself, but I still want to cut. And I feel like when you're an owner of a shop and it's just you, and then if it gets more shops, it's more headache for you, then you need a little help. So I went at it as like, yo, y'all, we split this up. I'll run everything, yada, yada. Y'all run everything behind the scenes. Because also, too, like, I'm not big in financial stuff or I wasn't even from the city. So it's not like I'm not even tech savvy. So it's like them being able to do all that while I just run the shop. I know how to run the shop. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. So I think it made it more easy for me. So that's what we in 2019, we decided like, hey, we're gonna do this. So it was funny. Me and Carlos actually went to a sneaker con in Dallas. We took all our shoes. Well, I took most of my shoes that weren't worn, and then he took most of his stuff. And we just sold all our shoes, and I think I had about $15K in cash. Carlos probably had a little bit more because he had more stuff. And I was just like, yo, well, this is a perfect opportunity. I got 15K in my 15K in my pocket. Is probably a perfect opportunity to start a shop, because I don't know when I'm gonna blow this money if I don't if I put it into a shop, right? Or I'm gonna be buying more shoes, knowing me. And so we took that money. At least I took that money, my money, and we decided to do a shop. And
so was your goal always to own a shop? You never wanted to do like I guess like there's the barbers now who just have like their own. That's like literally just for them. Yeah, sweet.
Man, my always goal was to be to own a shop. I mean, as a barber, there's only so much you can progress. Shop owner is probably the main way. I didn't want to be in a suite because I didn't want to be alone or whatever. I'm already a quiet dude. So it's like I don't talk to, honestly, I don't even talk to my clients that much because I'm working.
Yeah, you're locked in.
So I'm going to be in this little studio, quiet, not talking. But no, I always wanted to do a shop, man, because I wanted to create something more than just, a barbershop. Like, I wanted to create culture, lifestyle, stuff like that. So I always wanted to do something like that. I wanted to try to help others as well, because people always come to me advice. It's crazy. They say they look up to what I do and stuff like that. And so I took it on, and I was like, yo, like, well, I can do a shop, and I can teach y'all can teach me, we can figure this stuff together. So
when you finally first got like your first shop, did everything go like as expected, or was there like a lot of hiccups and like, damn, I didn't think it was gonna be like this hard or this stressful?
Bro, just building it out, man. We didn't know anything about permits or stuff like this. we built it out, right, without getting the permit. And we're like, yo, we're done. They're like, yo, you got your permits to even do the work? And we're like, oh, crap. So plumbing's done. We needed a plumbing permit. We thought we had gas for hot water. We didn't even have a gas in the back. And, man, we did all this, and we're just scrambling. We're calling people. Luckily, we found some hookups where, like, we didn't have to break the wall back open, whatever. So it's just hiccups that it's a learning experience. Like, everything you do when you haven't done it before, you're going to learn from it. You're going to be hiccups. They're going to be all this and that. And then it was before COVID, so even trying to get barbers, I'm over here going big-headed, like, I'm E-phase, like people want to work with me, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it. They tell me, they look up to me all the time. They're gonna want to work for me. Then when I have my shop, it's like, nah, I'm good, bro. I don't want to. I don't want to leave where I'm at, or I don't know if I do anything, I'm gonna do it on my own, yada yada. So I heard that a lot, and honestly, like people were like kind of thinking COVID was a bad thing, which it was, but it kind of helped us out because when COVID happened, as a barber, we all had to shut down, and so we shut down for I think it was about a month or two. Might have been longer. And by the time we got back open, people were like, more barbers were willing to move because everybody was at home. Yeah. They're like, oh, well, I got to start fresh. So you might as well start fresh at a new shop. So we got a couple more barbers from there. And then from then on, we've been rolling. So
during that time, I guess, because you said you started December 19 and COVID, nobody really expected that to happen. Yeah. It just kind of like happened like that. Mm-hmm. Was there ever a time where it's like, damn, like, well, maybe I'm not meant to like own a shop, or like, maybe this is like, it's not the right time, or was there any self-doubt like with the shop and like having COVID going on?
With the shop, no. I don't know if it had to do with the fact that I'm not alone in it. You know, I got business partners, you got other barbers, so like, I never felt self-doubt in the shop. I mean, I might have self-doubt as a barber myself, or you know, whatever, because I got to feed a family, I got to do this or that. But as an owner of the shop, no, not really. I mean, like I said, it might have just because I felt like I had backup. So it might have, you feel a little more invincible in that way. But, I mean, it was rough because, like, we were like, damn, how we pay rent? Like, how we going to pay this? Like, because, I mean, some shops were, but we were new. We can't charge our barbers for not working. Like it's not their fault they can't work. Mm-hmm. And so we like everybody give no booth. You don't worry about booth or whatever. And then so it's like luckily with our landlords, I mean like everybody else, they probably helped you out. But so we had to pay them back, but they gave us a few more months to get our feet back rolling and pay them back. And we were able to pay them back pretty quick. So that's what it was. We had a little help. So
yeah, I mean, I think at that point, everybody was just itching for help because, I mean, the whole world literally shut down unless you're, at the grocery store, like an essential worker of some sort. Like the whole world.
I was rolling around trying to do haircuts. I was going to people's places.
Like home visits,
They're like, no, you can't be on the road. I'm over here like scared, like I'm going to get pulled over, like whatever. And but yeah, I was doing haircuts for like $50, $60. So I go to you, tell your homies, we all meet up. Luckily, I had a bunch of homies in a car business, so I was hitting car dealerships and cutting. I mean, they were still working. I don't know why, but they were still working. And so they pull up, and I cut like 10 people at car dealerships. Go home.
Yeah,
it's cool. It was cool, man. It was cool. It made it feel like you when you work and you feel like you have to make so much money. I think when COVID happened, you realize you don't need to you just need to make this amount, or you just need to do this much effort, and then just go home and enjoy yourself. So it was cool. It was sucked for the illness, but it was cool for the. You're forced to slow down. Yeah. Or at least I was. I was always 8 to 8, cutting. And then when COVID happened, it was forced me to slow down and just enjoy life a little bit. So it was cool.
That's good. And, when you were talking about COVID and like, kind of earlier when you were saying I didn't want to suite, like I kind of want to open a shop, be around people. I just think the vibe when you go into the barbershop, like you're excited usually because like, man, I'm about to look good. I'm about to be, run some errands after I get this cut, but you also go in there and, especially with Fadebox, like music's always good. People always laughing, cracking jokes, sports are on, whatever's going on. I think like that's just so important, like in the barbershop, like just the camaraderie, just going in there talking, kind of what is said in the barbershop stays in the barbershop. You know what I mean? Like kind of that vibe, like that locker room vibe. You go in there and you just really just shoot the shit. And I think that aspect is what makes like probably this space so special, because not only are you just like cutting heads and doing all this stuff, you can also just have good like pure fun, laughter, and like you said, some of your business partners, meet some of maybe your potential clients or people you can do business with in the barbershop. You know, you consistently hearing this guy next to you getting cut, talking about what he does, and then like, yo, what you do, man? Like you start talking to them, and then, or even your barber, like, yo, I just cut this guy's hair. He does X, Y, Z. Oh, I do this, you know? So I think it's like one of the, especially in like the black and brown community, I think like barbershop, the networking, the community aspect is super important, you know?
For sure.
How'd you go about, I guess, at first and now, how'd you go about like hiring barbers? Because you're hitting people up. Were you just trying to hit people up to like fill a space, or you like you knew people are already around the area? Like, I like the way he cuts. I like the way he cuts. And now, since you're, I would say, I mean, we talked about off camera, but like the barbershop, are you more selective of like the interview process of who you pick and like how they cut hair and how they carry themselves as a person?
Back then, I might have been a little easier to like hire whoever. But at the same time, it's like Instagram tells a lot about a barber. If you're posting your haircuts and your haircuts are good on Instagram, more likely you can tell like, oh, you're about your business. But yeah, so at first you just trying to fill chairs. You know, you bring people from their shop that you come from. You try to find people that are just on Instagram, and just you hit up anybody and everybody. And then at this time, it's like when you're new, it's tough because like, they don't know if you're going to be busy. They don't know if the shop's going to be busy. They're putting all your trust in you as the owner. And so, you know, it was a little tough. But, I mean, luckily, like I said, we were able to get more barbers and, you know, and then, of course, when the shop's full, you're able to showcase all the stuff that you can showcase within the shop or at the Fadebox, like with the music, with the merch, with just anything and everything. I try to tell my barbers all the time, like, yo, like, if you cut hair good, you make yourself look good, you make your Instagram look good, like, you're going to get haircuts. That's just how it is. Like, you know, if you care about yourself, you care about your clients, and you care about your work, and you post all of that, people are going to care about where, you know, who your barber is or whatever. So that's what the main thing I tell all my barbers. And it's cool to see when you see, like, barbers, like, start with you, and then, you know, they might not care how they dress or how whatever. They like, as me, like, I always try to care how I dress, how I look, this and that. And they see me showing up every day for work. Then before you know it, a year later though, they dressing to impress. They're booked. They're showing up. They're on Instagram doing everything that you're doing. And it didn't take me to have to tell them. It's just they're just looking at me and seeing what I do. So that was cool. But nowadays, man, I gotta be a little more pickier, you know, because as you say, Fadebox. It's still hard for me to see Fadebox is the shop, whatever, but everybody else tells me that. So having that status, I feel like you gotta be a little more pickier on who you bring, you know, like. So I'm gonna pay attention to every little detail: how you dress, how you talk, how you carry your Instagram, how your mannerism is, all that stuff. Not just, oh, I can cut hair good, or vice versa, or I'm just give me a shot. Like, it's tough for me nowadays to like give you a shot, because if all 6 barbers are at a certain level and then you aren't at that time, let's just say you're new or whatever, you either, if I give you a shot, you better be here from morning to sundown. Like that's the only way you're gonna get better. But you know, there's barbers out there that just do their own thing, so it's like, it's tough. So I got to be a little more picky.
Yeah, is it hard at that point, like trying to find, like, because I mean, especially in Austin, I think what separates, I guess, y'all is, one, I would say the merch, and 2, y'all have multiple locations.
Yeah.
But with also there being so much shops in Austin and relatively good barbers, like, is it hard still finding like the talent?
It's still very difficult because there is a bunch of shops, and all the good barbers are more likely owners or managers at the shops. So nowadays, like, I have 4 locations. Each location has managers at each spot. I try to let the managers handle their hiring, just for the simple fact I can hire somebody, but like I said, they might, to me, I'm the owner, so they might be putting on the front. They might be acting for me. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, he sounds like a good guy, whatever. And then he goes to the shop and he's just a total headache for everybody else. And it's like, all right, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hired them. Like, they're like, you can't do it. So now I let the managers kind of handle their own shops, because like I'll tell them like, yo, like the manager, this is your shop. Run it how you want it. Y'all know how I like it, whatever. So for the most part, I let them handle it. They'll still run it by me. Like, hey, what you think about this guy? Think about this girl, whatever. But for the most part, I let them handle it. And then even like I was telling you off camera here at Box Boyz, we have 2 stations open, and it's a little more pickier here because the 4 that are left, we've been working together for like 4 years. Mm-hmm. So like we know each other. We know what, like, how far we can push each other's buttons. We know when to leave somebody alone because they're in a bad mood, or even our clients know each other. Our clients know us. They're like, each barber. So like, I don't want to just hire a certain somebody and then they're like just throws off the vibe of being the shop. So you gotta be a little more picky. I gotta I guess do my due diligence on everybody and to go the extra step of like figuring it out before I could just like, hey, come give it a shot. Come work at the shop, whatever, yada yada. Now I'm like, all right, come over. I gotta talk to you. Some managers, they take them out to lunch to get the at full interview. So you just gotta be a little pickier.
I think that's super important too, just like that vetting process, because once you build up to a certain level or status, it's like you want to continue to elevate, but you don't want to also be taken advantage of. It's like you worked hard, that your team has worked hard, you got to the certain point. You don't want, someone to kind of just come in as like a leech too, right? And not help you elevate, what you're trying to build. And something I wanted to talk about too is we were kind of talking about merch and stuff off camera, the gray shirt, that I think you had got me that one, like the OG one. But in the past, you guys have always dropped super fire clothing, merchandise, things of that nature. What was kind of like the mindset of, we need to drop merch, but we need to drop like actual collections of clothing, not just like a shirt here and there, like an actual doing the brand campaign, the designs, like what kind of took you down that process?
So like I told y'all, like off camera, like before when we first opened up, it was just like put Fadebox on everything. I don't care what it looks like or there's no like thinking involved. It's just like get a t-shirt, put Fadebox on it, get a hat, put Fadebox on it, whatever. And that's just more just trying to be different from all other shops. Like there's barbershops everywhere, but you might not even know there's a barbershop there because they don't have a good Instagram, or they don't do merch, or they don't do none of this. So like at that time, it's like, all right, we got to get good Instagram. We got to get a good photographer. We got to have good social medias, good merch, or just merch in general. Just so like to showcase like, yo, we actually care about our brand. And it's like, it's more than just a barbershop, it's a brand. And so we're branding everything. I think we branded shaker cups. We branded lighters, hats, beanies, jackets, hoodies, like all that. And so we did that. And then, of course, as you evolve, I guess maybe even fashion evolves, or my fashion taste evolved, and then you started to do like collections and stuff like that. So like we did we did concepts. Before it was like we were kind of scared of like changing our logo up. Like our logo is our logo. We're not gonna do like a script logo like the hat or we just keep the traditional logo. But I think we did that for like the first couple of years, build a brand awareness. I know everybody knows this is our brand now. And then after that, you can do the concept stuff like. We did University of Fadebox. We did the golf Country Cup. Yep. We did or just one-offs or whatever. I think we did Fadebox Raised like last year. This year we had the script logo. I think I told my business partner, I'm probably just gonna throw this on everything. We're gonna kind of take it back to, like I said, just stamp it with everything. I'm gonna stamp it with this logo from everything. Just kind of takes back to the traditional, like to me it's like the Chicano Mexican roots or whatever. So that's why I want to embrace this year. But yeah, I just think just trying to be a step ahead of everybody. Like barbershops aren't doing it, and also too is like I get bored, So like I've been cutting hair for 15 years, so it's like I think I find more passion in making clothes now, or like just creating versus just cutting hair, and so like it's just fun for me. So like when I'm at home, I want to create, and so like. I just create stuff, and then if I like it or if I get good feedback, we're gonna figure out how to drop it. So
yeah, is that like something when you came into the scene or got your own like spot? Like, was that something that you knew you wanted to do? Because like you said, you don't see other barbershops like having their own like merch and like doing their own drops and whatnot. Mainly because I feel like they just they're just not big enough, to be honest.
Yeah.
So was that something that coming into
for
you knew
That's
what you
why,
wanted to
honestly,
do?
the name was so like I was so picky about what name we named the barbershop. I didn't want a traditional like barbershop name or whatever, like, you know, they are like scissors or clipper hands or like whatever stuff like that. The traditional barbershops, I didn't want a traditional name. I wanted like a specific name where like I can put it on something and you might not even know it's a barbershop. You just think it's a cool name. And it's funny because like we took forever to figure out a name, could not figure out a name at all. And then, like I said, we were going back and forth, and then we're running out of time because I was like, yo, we need to get a name because we need to start marketing and we need to start getting all this stuff going. And at that time I was a sneakerhead, big sneakerhead, and there's like I think there's a store out there in overseas in Europe or something called Soulbox. So I was like, oh, cool, I'm watching a video, I'm working out. I think I was on a Stairmaster or something working out, watching a video, see Soulbox. I was like, oh, what y'all think about white box? The whole thing was white, the first shop, white box, Fadebox, whatever box. And they're like, oh, Fadebox, let's just wrote it. And at that time, I was like, I didn't think it was going to be a big success or whatever. I was like, I just needed a name. And I was like, all right, cool, that sounds good, Fadebox. So we started hit up another client of mine to get a logo done. And then before you know it, we like rocking for like a good month or two. And everybody's like, I love the name. And I'm like, for real? I was like, this is just thrown together last minute. But luckily we named it that. And like, I think when you think of Fadebox now, you probably think of barbershop. But even if like I go out of town and you have Fadebox on my chest or whatever, it doesn't scream barbershop, and I didn't want it to scream barbershop at all. Even to this day, I don't want to be just a barbershop. I don't want to be known as a barber. I want to be more than that. So like that's just how I go about things.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we were. When we first started, we didn't want to be catered to one thing. You know, we started doing one thing, but then we shortly realized after, like, oh, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this. We don't want to be put in a box, so to say.
Yeah.
And I think once you put yourself in a box, that's when you start getting bored. It's like, damn, like,
for sure.
Because you already self limit yourself.
Yeah,
it's
I'm like this is all I can do because this is what it's
Yeah.
tied behind.
No,
Versus
for sure.
you open it up to opinionated, that can be multiple things. Fadebox can be multiple things. I mean, the word fade, it's just used as a word for a lot of different things now. You know, so
we get confused with like boxing,
Yeah.
like a boxing gym. Like, you got box, and I'm like, nah, it's a barbershop, bro. Cause like Fadebox, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like a lot of stuff. Like, and you can, like I said, you can throw it on anything, and it doesn't scream like if you had like. I don't want to like call out people's names.
Yeah.
If you have like a traditional barbershop or like a something fades or whatever. You put that on a t-shirt, everybody, it just screams barbershop.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't scream like a brand. It doesn't seem like you have Kith. Like if I put Fadebox, like it could be the same thing.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's what I want to grow into. So I would like, especially this year and even moving forward, I want to not just do like t-shirts and hats. Like that's what I'm namely do. Like I'm trying to do like house slippers. I want to do house slippers. I want to do something cool.
Yeah.
Do lighters, like cups. Like I want to do something like where it's just one off. Like it's just not just traditional t-shirts and hats now.
Yeah, like you're actually making like merchandise, collectibles. It's like, man, like I got this Fadebox candle. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
stuff like that. That's what I want to do now. Cause like we've done, like I said, we're still gonna do our t-shirts and hats or whatever. But like that's what everybody expects. I want to do something different now.
like a Supreme, you know, they just
all
axes
big-
and dominoes and die, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
just
wanna
all the
do.
collabs, all that stuff. Yeah, that's
so-
fire.
So that's what we plan on doing, man. Just trying to stamp it on everything again.
So when was it for you that, because I mean, you say you still don't see y'all as like the number one shop or like this is the shop to go to in Austin, but when was it for you that like E-Fades was like the guy, or like E-Fades, go to E-Fades or go to Fadebox, or you just started getting more popular. You've done some stuff with UT, and like when did all that guy kind of like hit you and it's like settle for you?
Man, it's still, honestly, it probably still doesn't hit me. But no, yeah, I mean, just getting recognized all the time, you know, like seeing going out and like seeing people in your stuff and your merch and stuff like that, or even just people come up to me and I'm freaking halfway drunk and they're like, "What's up, E? What's up?" And I'm like, "What's up, man?" Like, you know, or they're not even my clients and they're like someone else's clients, but they just recognize me. So I think it's pretty cool. And then of course the University of Texas status. I mean, that's like that's the team here in Austin. So I've been rocking with them for almost just as long. I've been here for like 9 years. And then shout out Coach Sark when he got hired. He brought me on, and I've been able to cut the coaches for the past 5 years. So all that status, like, you know, just kind of kind of helps elevate, so it helps get you around on the Instagram and stuff like that. So, I mean, I still don't consider myself whatever, but I mean, people do, and I guess it's pretty cool. But I just stay trying to do me,
Yeah.
When do, I guess, barbers start giving themselves the celebrity barber title? Like, how do you get to that stat? Like,
I don't know,
what?
man. Some people just, if you cut one celebrity, they're like, I'm a celebrity barber. I think it's hard to be a celebrity barber here in Austin. I think it's not LA or New York or something. So it's like I feel like you shouldn't consider yourself a celebrity barber unless you're just cutting celebrities. Like you're not in the shop at all, or you're cutting 3 or 4 celebrities a day or something like that. And even then, but I cut Coach Sark, and I mean, I guess he's a celebrity here in Austin. Big deal, but he's such a cool guy, chill guy. So I don't even consider him a celebrity at all either.
What was it, Sark, that like gave you that opportunity, or were you already cutting hair?
I was cutting the players. So I mean, I've been cutting players. I think I have less players now, but until here, I was cutting damn near everybody on the football, basketball, baseball team. And then of course, as I get busier and I get a family, I don't have much time for the players.
Yeah.
Like they be wanting last minute haircuts or whatever.
Yeah.
But luckily, they still go to a lot of my barbers. So shout out them that are still rocking with us. But I was just cutting a player one day. And then we had the new coaching staff. I think we had like 4 or 5 of the new coaches. They're still here to this day. But he got a haircut. I think it was the tight ends coach, Coach Banks. He saw one of the tight ends get a haircut. He's like, yo, cut your hair. And they're like, oh, he did. And like, oh, okay, cool. We got to get his info. And he ended up just reaching out to me. And he was like, yo, can you come cut me, Coach Sark, and a couple other coaches? And I was like, hell yeah. Like, whatever. So did that. And then ever since then, just been rocking with them. And for some reason, they like getting haircuts on Tuesdays. And I'm like, that's perfect. I ain't got to leave the shop on a Thursday or a Friday. Tuesdays, just chill. It's easy to take off.
End of the week.
Yeah, early in the week. So it's like, ever since, so it just worked out. I go there every Tuesday afternoon. I work half day here, pack up, go over there, then go home. Just chill.
Was that your first university you cut at?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Did they already had like a barbershop pre-installed before you got there, or no? Because I know they have one built now.
Yeah, now. So when I first started cutting the players, they Coach Strong. It was when Coach Strong's era, and it was his last year. But he ended up putting a barbershop in the locker room. So I got to open that one up too with one of the barbers that at the previous shop I worked at before Fadebox. And we got to go up there, and we're going up there but it was on Thursdays. So, every Thursday we're going to cut in players. And at that time, the way Coach Strong ran it, they had practice till like 6 or 7. And so they couldn't have time to make it a barbershop. So that we go up there, bro. I'm there till like 11, midnight. And then I'm getting booming with more players. And then basketball players are finding out. Basketball players are coming over. And baseball players, coaches, like everybody's just like, come over here. So I'm there till like midnight, 1. It's crazy. And then it was Coach Herman's era, Tom Herman. He was the next coach, and he took the barbershop out. And there was no barbershop. So they still had the chairs, and they just put them like in random places. Go up there, and it was just becoming more of a headache. So I had stopped going for like a couple years, either the last year or 2 of Herman's era. And then Coach Sark came in. And when Coach Sark got here, they were doing a whole redevelopment or whatever. And then by the time the first season was about to start, they opened up the barbershop. And it's funny, I had posted it like just thanking the coaches for letting me be the first one, whatever. And then everybody took it as like I opened up that barbershop in the locker room. And I'm like, nah, that's not my shop. Like, that's the university shop. I'm just had the opportunity to go in there and cut. So like everybody's like, oh, that's E-shop. I was like, nah, that's not my shop. I wish, but.
Were you a UT fan before?
I'm diehard UT fan.
Yeah. So how did that feel for you? It was like a surreal moment, like, damn, I get to cut these guys' hair.
It was nerve-wracking at first, man. Growing up, I was a Longhorn before I even knew I was a Longhorn. My parents Longhorns and Cowboys. Before I even knew it. And so growing up, watching them, with all the success and all that, and then finally being able to cut, it was nerve-wracking. Like, it was for sure nerve-wracking. Like, I was shaking, cutting play, like they're celebrities. Like I'm thinking they're the big, and they probably weren't even starters yet.
Yeah,
I'm just like shaking, cutting hair, and it was cool. But now like I come to realize like, yo, these are just kids.
Literally, yeah,
they're just kids. Like it sucks now.
Like hearing them talk, you're like,
Yeah,
these are
back,
kids.
so back then it was like more relatable because like I was 21, 21, and they're like 18, and some of them were actually 21 or we're on the same age. So it was cool, you know, and it was fun too. Got to hang out with them, go 6th Street with them, party with them. But now, like, I'm 31, and I mean, I get older, and these players stay the same age, like 18 to 20, and I'm like, so it's like, I think now, like, they're actually going to like younger barbers too, and like, you know, stuff like that. So it's a little more relatable. But me, I'm the old head now, I guess. So like, I go home at 5, you know, like, I'm not trying to stay late. I like, y'all hit me. If I can get y'all in within these hours, I got y'all. But if not, man, y'all got to find somebody else, man. I can't stay late anymore.
When you cut the coaches, like your first, you know, a few times there, were you just like kind of silent, or like did you try to make conversation?
So I'm a silent person when I'm cutting in general. Like, I cut pretty quick, so I cut in 30 minutes. So if I get there talking and stuff like that, I'm gonna fall behind.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like if I talk, the more I talk, probably the haircut's not gonna be as good as if I'm like, I mean, I chit chat, right? I do that, but like, I'm not just sitting here just talking nonstop, you know, like you see like barbers do. But so I'm always a quiet guy. At first, it was like I said, it was nerve wracking. You know, I got to actually shave Coach Strong's head, and I like, bro, that was nerve wracking. I'm shaking, trying to hold a
big
razor,
ass dude,
hold a razor and everything. So like, but then now, like, you know, Coach Sark, I was more comfortable. I've been more comfortable. Coach Sark I've been doing it for years now, so I'm more comfortable. And even then, like, I'm not the type of like to ask them football questions. So even players, I don't want to ask them. Like I cut Quinn Ewers, and everybody's like, what's he say? I'm like, bro, I let him chill.
Yeah.
Like, cause I feel like they're talking football. Everybody wants to chit chat.
That's
Everybody wants a
people...
picture. I've never asked anybody for an autograph. I've asked Quinn Ewers for an autograph once, and that's only because I needed concrete work at the house. And the dude was like, yo, I give you such and such off. You give me a signed autograph. So I had asked him to get an autograph. That's the only time I ever asked anybody for an autograph. I have NFL players. I cut Coach Sark. I haven't asked for a picture, none of that. I mean, I might ask a picture for like haircuts or whatever, just to help the shop. But I just let them do their thing. Like, I stay quiet. Even when Coach Sark comes in here, like I say, he's a cool guy. Comes in here, he talks to everybody. I think the barbers, other barbers talk to him more than I do. I let him relax, bro. I feel like they work such a heavy schedule, hectic schedule. I think when they get a haircut, they should just be able to relax.
100%.
Yeah, that's like the thing that people really don't understand is these famous athletes, or these just celebrities in general, like that's their job is the last thing they want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like you said, they think about that all the time. Like when they're out in public or you spot them, like they don't want to talk about football.
Yeah.
You know, you just
that's why, like, bro, I think that might be the reason why they actually do like coming back to get a haircut from me, because I'm not asking like, oh, we lost last week. Like, man, what happened?
Yeah.
What we doing? Like, what we doing? Like, what'd you think? Why'd you run this play? Like, I'm not like all in their business. I'm like, just whatever. I don't speak about no games, no nothing. I think the only time Coach Sark actually we talked football was, I think, his first year, and I was like, it was a national championship game. I think it was when TCU got whooped.
by Georgia.
By Georgia, yeah. So they got whooped, and I think I cut him like the next day. And I was like, "What you think of the game?" He was like, it was bad. Like, you know, they just outmatched, whatever. They're not big. What I said, that's why he was like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get like big. We need to get big linemen. We need to get SEC type people. And that's like probably the only time he actually was like talking football. For the most part, though, it's just how you doing? What's up, man? Now he has a baby. We both had babies around the same time. So like, how's your baby?
Yeah.
He's like, how's my baby and the stuff like that. So that's just it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Small talk.
Yeah. It's always nice, like, you know, and for you, like, full circle, grow up a Longhorn fan, now you get to cut their hair, and just like you realize that they're normal people at the end of the day, and then for him to be who he is, like the head coach of the University of Texas, but still come in here and be like, how's your family? How's your baby? How you doing? Like, that's cool, man. It also says a lot about you, you know, and how you carry yourself.
Cool too. We posted our baby, and everybody was all in all. We had posted our baby when he was born back in July, and Coach Sark commented, "Congrats."
That's fire.
That's fire. Yeah,
and
that's fire.
Everybody's like, "Oh, he good." I'm like, "Oh, that's my guy." That's my guy.
Yeah. That's dope.
That's cool.
You were talking earlier about like kind of how you dress and stuff like that, and we just recently followed each other on Instagram, and I was like looking at your photos. I was like, man, like outfits fire. I like how you like kind of express yourself online, like through the outfits, through like kind of just like even like the nostalgic posts. Like you had like one of your photo dumps where it was like the old school like binder with the CDs, and like you took a picture of that, and then you like had like the CD player, and then even like, you know, some of the cars and stuff, like kind of like vintage old school stuff. So have you always been into that type of style, or is it just like something that you're like, man, I like this. I'm gonna start expressing myself. I'm trying to, run a business, and also just, on social media, it's like you build a following from people might not even know you cut hair. They might just be like, I just like this guy's content. You know what I mean? What's your thought process with that? Or
I think I definitely involved with all this stuff. I'm definitely an old head. Like everybody in the shop knows an old head. Like I still listen to Jay-Z, Kanye, 90s, early 2000s R&B, hip hop.
Yeah.
Like that's me. Like I don't do the new hip hop and all that stuff. So I'm definitely an old head. And then even then, like just trying to stand out. Like I don't want at one point everybody's gonna go buy a Tesla. I don't want to go buy a Tesla. Like I want to go buy an S10, like a little truck. Like just something cool, man.
Yeah.
Like I definitely just want to stand out and just do my own thing. And then one thing is just standing out, and the other thing is too is like now I try to embrace the culture, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like now I said I feel like the Chicano culture is like real big now and stuff like that. Like so I'm dickied up and whatever. And I try to take that into the Fadebox thing as well. And then it's also good just to stand out in that aspect, especially in this world nowadays. Definitely gotta want to embrace that. But just loving vintage clothing, being all in that field as well with a bunch of homies. Shout out Stacks and Keep It Classic. Those are my guys. But yeah, just clothing, shoes, just trying to stand out. I had the CD case because I just bought this little old Benz. I had a Jeep. I sold it, but we are stuck with one car with the kids.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get a car with at least put the kids in around town. So I bought this old Benz instead of a CD player. And for some reason, I had my brother's old CD case, and I was like, yo, you still have it? And he's like, nah, you still have it. So I went to go check my shed or whatever. I found it. I started playing all these old CDs, started posting it, and everybody's like, that's cool. You still have CDs? I'm like, I'm just doing it for a little bit. But nah, man, just trying to stand out. Like, I don't want to be like everybody else, So, like, I'm not just going to buy the Tesla or wear everything else that everybody wears or whatever. Like, I want to do my own thing. And, like, before I used to do that, had to have the shoes that everybody else had to have the hat, the wear matching this and that. And then now, like, I guess as you grow, shop's growing. Level of status, you get a little more confident in yourself, and you're able to just do whatever you want to do. So now I just do whatever I want to do, and if y'all like it, y'all like it. If y'all don't, y'all don't. If y'all like the merch, come buy it. If y'all don't like it, there'll be some more merch that y'all might like, Or if it doesn't meet y'all's morals or y'all's whatever, then don't do it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do now, and if y'all fuck with it, y'all fuck with it.
How has it been for you, like evolving as a person? Even you started this, as someone who doesn't have a family now. It's grown into you have 2 kids now.
Yeah,
Congratulations on that, by the way.
You.
So how's that like owning like a shop like this and then taking care of 3 other shops and still being like a family man?
Bro, don't sleep. I don't sleep, man. Especially now with the new baby. God, he's kicking our ass. But nah, man, just staying busy and just putting trust into others as well, though. So I put in trust in my business partners, putting in trust in the managers to run the shops. Before, I used to feel like I had to be at every shop every week, checking on things, making sure everything's run right. And then before you know it, I'm like, man, I'm paying these managers or discounting them their rent to handle the shop that needs to be handled, so you don't have to do it. So you need to put full trust into them. So I got full trust into them. Shout out my wife. She's with the kids, doing the hard job, So she's at home doing everything that needs to be done there. And so I'm able to just focus on my haircuts, focus on my brand, and in the shop I work at. And then I still make my rounds and stuff like that. But, it's just nonstop. Like, start my day, baby waking me up at 3:45, 4. I'm like, man, I'm just going to stay up. So I put him back down to sleep, stay up, work out, get my daughter ready for school, take her to school, come to work, go home, work all day, then go home, play dad with my son and put the kids to sleep. And then before it's like 9 o'clock and you get the rest, and then you got to think about, oh, damn, I got to do this for Fadebox. I got to do this, I got to do that. Mm-hmm. So, man, just don't sleep, bro. Just try to, my wife keeps telling me I need to write things down. I don't write nothing down, but I just think.
That's me, yeah.
I'll be like mid-cut, like, oh, damn, I got to do this real quick. So I'm like doing it on my phone, or like if I think about it. So it's like people get mad, I don't text back, I don't answer phone calls. It's like, bro, I'll get to y'all when I get to y'all, but you just know I see it,
Yeah,
if it's an emergency, call me 3 times. I know it's emergency then, but that's just how it rolls, man.
What did Has it been like hard on you at that point? Because that's just a lot for one person. Just also staying up just the hours and not getting like the sleep, because sleep is one of the most important things for your body. Yeah. So like, has that ever been like hard on you or like messed up with your mental?
It can be, bro. But nah, I mean, I'm a chill, mellow guy. And my wife says I probably need to go to therapy to fucking just talk more, stuff like that, and embrace like my feelings or whatever. But like, nah, man, it's chill. Like I said, I feel like there is times though I do feel like there's just not enough time, or I feel like I need to I can't get it all done. But at the end of the day, it's like I think I look back and just like, oh, we've done enough already. Everything I need to do is extra. Everything, the merch don't need to get done right here, there, or there. Like we've done it, or whatever. As long as the barbers are happy, as long as the brand is good, rent's paid, mortgage is paid, everything's paid. Like you're good. You're doing what you need to do. Kids are fed, stuff like that. So sometimes I do have to like sit down, and most times it's probably during my workouts in the morning. I just sit there like, chill out. You need to relax. And like even my wife, like, you need to relax. Like, and I'm just like, I just don't want to. Like, I do enjoy creating. So it's like honestly, that is where like I do relaxing when I'm creating, or I'm like, just making t-shirts in the shed or something like that. That's my time. Or working out, especially working out is probably like my only time I'm alone, and like that's the time where I get to like just relax. So.
Decompress, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. Especially like when you like are building something and then you like just become obsessed with it. You're starting to see success and you're like, man, like if I do this or like let's try this. Like I understand that. Just like wanting to work on something that's just really like you can just see yourself like this is mine. Like this is something that I'm building, and then just it's like really fulfilling too. It's like, man, I got to do this, or like kind of when you reflect on things. So going into reflection, like, we're here today. Kind of like what have been some of the things you just reflected on since, you like went back to when you were going to that car wash, it was hot. You were like, man, like I could just go cut hair and, do that for a living. And then fast forward, you're here, at multiple shops, cutting at UT. Like, what's that just been for you? Like the reflection?
Man, it's crazy. Like I said, like we talked off camera, we grew in 1 year. I think year 3 of Fadebox, we grew from 2 shops to 5 or 6, and it's just like crazy, and you don't get time to reflect on anything at all. But I mean, like I said, now having kids and having a family and then working less, you have more time to reflect on everything, and so it's definitely real fulfilling. And then definitely like when you see barbers that you've been in your shop and now they have their own shop and they're doing well, or just the barbers, like I said, you see barbers that have been since day one and now they got more money than you. They over here doing all the fun stuff, and I'm like, dang, that's cool. Like that's what you want to see. You get reflection every day from the barbers themselves, like, because you've seen them from day one when they were just starting out or with Fadebox and they weren't busy. Now they're booked here every day. They work more hours than the owner. Like, they do stuff like that, and that's what you want to see. And I think that's the reflection right there. But just looking back, it's crazy. It's crazy from like even like we said, like the merch. It went from just stamping T-shirts, traditional Gildans, to like I'm over here trying to find the best blank or whatever, this and that. It's all a reflection at the end of the day, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, one of the questions I wanted to ask or bring up on the money aspect, it's a big conversation I feel like these days, is how much barbers charge. So what goes into I'm gonna charge you $60 for this cut? I'm gonna charge you $100 for this cut? Because I think a few years ago, what's his name? The NBA player that was dating.
You talking about was it Jimmy Butler?
No. He's a commentator now. Yes, Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose.
He said you should be giving your barber $100 minimum. So like, what goes into these numbers that people put out there? Because I've been with Turo for a while now. I just see his price increase. I'm like, damn, man, like I went from every 2 weeks to every month. But like, but for y'all, it's different because you have this demand of people who want you to cut them. So it's like, all right, well now I got to weed out who actually wants to actually get a cut from me. So like, how did these numbers come about?
For me, I mean, for the most part, it's all supply and demand. I think that's how it should be. Like if you're booked, And it also depends on how booked you want to be. Some barbers want to be booked going into, like me personally, I want to be booked going into the week or almost booked, right? And so it's Monday and I'm like, I only got like 3 spots left for Wednesday. Cool. That's how I want to be. I don't want to be overbooked. You know, if when you're going into it's Monday one week and you're already almost booked for the next week, you might be too booked, right? Especially nowadays because, like I said before, I was booked out a month in advance. And that's probably when I was charging like $30 or whatever. And so I think it's all supply and demand. But I mean, nowadays, barbers, they think just because I take an hour 15 on my hair, then I need to charge more. And so you got barbers out here charging $80, $100, but they also take an hour 15, hour 30. So to them, they feel like they're doing a great cut. I'm spending all this time on your hair. I can only do, at that time, if you're doing hour and a half haircuts, you can only do like 7, 8 a day unless you're working 12 hours or whatever. So you have a cap on whatever you do. I was lucky enough to learn a skill in 30 minutes. And so I think that's honestly what keeps my price still at 60. I've been at 60, 70 for a little bit. I could go up because everybody else, like, you know, it's an ego thing too. So if I'm at 60, 70 and the barbers that I taught or the barbers that been doing it less than me are at 60, 70, like, damn, like, I need at least be a little $5, $10 more, you know, that's just an ego thing. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to realize I do 2 haircuts in an hour versus someone that might do an hour haircut for 80. I'm doing 2 at 60 or 2 at 70 for a haircut and beard. So at the end of the day, I'm still making more. That kind of feeds my ego maybe a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think barbers going to charge whatever they want to charge. Yeah. It's not right. I feel like just because you take an hour and a half don't mean you need to charge 100. But hey, if you're booked or your schedule's filling the way you want to feel, perfectly how you want to feel, and the amount of speed that it fills up, and you're charging 80 to 100 or 100 to 120, then so be it. Like, that's what you want. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's how it is. Like, for me, every time I went up on my price, it's just because I'm too booked. You know, it's just a constant being booked all the time, and it gets stressful. Because like I said, when I was booked out a month, I can't plan nothing. Luckily, I didn't have kids back then, and so I was just working. But imagine being booked out for a month and kid gets sick, and then you're like, for me, let's say I booked 15 to 16 haircuts a day. I gotta move those 15 people, and I'm like, where am I gonna move them to? I'm booked out for a month, so I either gotta work a Saturday or Sunday, and I gotta work more to make them happy, you know, because you can't just be like, go rebook, and they gotta wait another month. They probably waited a month. And so luckily nowadays, like I said, I'm not as booked, right? So I probably have a few openings maybe this week coming up. But I can, if it's Thursday and I get sick or whatever, and I can like, yo, just rebook, bro. I'm sorry, but you have to wait a couple more days or whatever, stuff like that. So it's a little more easier that way. So that's how I always went up on my prices. But barbers, barbers have the luxury nowadays, because when I first started, it was like $15.
And I was going to ask you, like, what do you think the difference is nowadays versus then? Because, you know, when we were younger, it's like $15 for a cut.
The good barbers are at a certain price. The good barbers are probably anywhere from 50 to 70, you know. And if they're higher than that, then you're doing something different, and you may be doing more within the haircut. You might be hot towel shaving, shampooing hair. You might be doing a little more than just get in my chair, cut your hair, get out my chair. But nah, I just think because all the good barbers are a certain price point. When people get out of school, barber school, they can be 30, 40, and that's considered a cheap haircut nowadays. But back then, that was an expensive haircut.
Yeah. Yep.
And so like now the luxury, like barbers can literally get out of barber school and make minimum $40 an hour. Just spending an hour on a haircut, doing $40, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like,
Crazy.
I had to, bro, I was cutting 20, 25 heads at $15, $20 to make a certain amount of money, and I'm thinking that's great money nowadays. Like, it's a luxury nowadays. I think that's what it is.
Do you think that should be the norm or no? Like, coming out of barber school?
Yes and no. It's the norm because we made it the norm.
Yeah.
You know, so getting out of barber school and you're charging $30, that's the norm. And that's probably where you should be. No, honestly, $20, $30 getting out of barber school if you're still learning. This excludes like the people that've been cutting and they just had to go get a license. Like if you've been cutting, you're good. Get out charging 40, 50. I think if you have no clientele at all and you're good, you should be at 40. Right? I think $40 is a good standing, like a good place where like I need to build my clientele. So
Yeah.
I'm doing cheaper haircut, a little bit cheaper than everybody else, but I'm still good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting my money's worth because you're getting a good haircut. If you're still learning, you still get out of barber school and you're still learning, I think you should be at like 25, 30. That way, because like that is like a cheap haircut. You can't. I think Supercuts probably charges like $20 now, like whatever. So like that's a good learning haircut. You're still able to get people, but and also too, you're still learning. So and that's still good money.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like I don't know who makes $25 an hour. You know, as long as you're doing one an hour.
Yeah.
That's good money for most people. So
Yeah. And I think too that that's just fair, you know, to have it that way because you kind of gotta pay your dues, you know, you kind of got to put the work in and like actually like, you know, feel good about charging that, you know, it's like, I think a lot of people see kind of with any field or business, you're like, man, like I can go do this and make X amount of money. I'm gonna just do this and then immediately charge this, even though they might have only been doing it for like 1 year as opposed to someone's been cutting for 5-6 years. It's like, I'm decent. Like I could probably charge this, but I still want to make sure I do it the right way, you know,
that's
and
why,
don't
like,
want to tarnish your
the
name.
way I run things, I let the barbers charge what they want, right? And so everybody has their own price point. But I do let them know, like, let's say there's a barber out there that's not in one of the shops that isn't booked, right? And they're charging, let's say, the same amount as me or same amount as another barber that's booked. And I'm like, yo, like, go down on your price. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if I have an opening and you have an opening and you're still learning or you're not there yet, and someone has to pick between us two and we're the same price point, who do you think they're going to go to for the most part, right? But if you're cheaper, at least you have that edge. Like, hey, at least I'm going to save $10 if I go to Buddy, right? So that's why I look at it. That's why I tell people, like, yo, just charge. Ain't nothing wrong with charging cheaper. I know it's an ego thing. Barbers have big egos. I have a big ego. I mean, everybody has egos, but at the end of the day, it's like what's going to help you grow as a barber, as a brand, as a business yourself. Because every barber in this building, in this company, is their own brand, and that's how I preach.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about. Like, at the end of the day, like you're your own business. Like you know, whatever you doing that day is how much money you're making. You know, it's kind of like in a sales job, so to say. It's like whatever you put in is what you're going to get out of it.
You eat what you kill.
Yeah,
kind of.
So
deal.
like you like, I feel like you. I mean, everybody has like their own style and whatnot, but I feel like you do it like best. Like I feel like if you can do it faster and still do it good, you're gonna make more money versus charging that $80 for hour 15, hour and a half
That's
haircut.
how I feel. I mean, that's how I feel like I always have the one up on everybody because I can cut faster at the same amount and do the same haircut as everybody else, if not better. But man, there's great barbers out there. So at the end of the day, it's not to cut fast. It's just that's just how I did it.
Yeah.
That's how I learned. Like I even try to cut slower, and I've used to it now. I've been doing it for so long for the same amount of time. And so, like, I don't tell people, like, yo, you need to get down 30 minutes. You need to get down 30 minutes. But I do let them know, like, hey, if you're faster, that's more opportunity for you to make,
More time in the day.
Yeah, but I think that's the total opposite model that the barber is nowadays. Now the model is, hey, take an hour on your haircut, do this, do that, whatever, all the third, and then charge more. That's the model. That's what everybody's trying to get to. Everybody's trying to be like, I'm gonna take an hour on your head and I'm gonna charge you $80 to $100. I'm taking my time. I'm doing all this. I'm making sure. But man, at the end of the day, if the haircut in 30 minutes looks the same as the haircut in an hour, I think it's the same thing.
I think that's interesting too, because it's like people are just busy too. So it's like some people just might be like, man, I only got time for like 30, 45 minutes. Like I need to get a cut and get my life moving. That's a luxury
for me because like people come on their lunch breaks. They still have a lunch.
Yeah.
They can get here in 10 minutes, get a haircut in 30, and they can still have 10, 20 minutes to eat, or they have a break in between meetings or stuff like that. And then the coaches love it. They can come down, get a haircut, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, and then go back to their work. So it's definitely a luxury, I feel like, in being faster. But it's also a luxury in taking your time and getting all the extra stuff too. But it just depends on what the client wants. So
yeah. And so how do you also go about charging for the booth rentals? Because I know everybody is like Shopwise is different, but like I also didn't know that until Turo told me. But yeah, everybody has to pay like a booth rental. So how do you go about setting that price? And what makes it like I guess expensive? Like what's an expensive booth rental versus like a normal price?
Well, I think normal price, the average price is probably anywhere from like $250 to $300. But I think I don't even know nowadays. Like nowadays, I hear barbershops are at 200. I just found out one barbershop's at 450.
Wow.
Like, dang, like, booth going up. Nah,
At that point, you got to be promising some
crazy.
clientele.
450 is crazy. But for the most part, all our barbershops are 300. I just think it's a fair point. I mean, before I used to think of it as like we're at 250, and at that time it was like $25, $30 haircuts, even 35. You do like, let's just say one day you do 10 haircuts, that pays booth, and then the rest of the week is yours. All right, that's how I always looked at it. But that's when but the model's so different nowadays. But now 350 like for the most part, and then 350 here at Box Boyz, and I did it here is because I feel like this is more of the, like I said, I told you before, it's like the boutique of Fadebox, the boutique shop. And then a little bit, we're smaller. Everybody in the shop is booked, and if everybody's in the book, that means whoever comes in here is more like gonna get booked up eventually, because we keep the chair spinning, and we're smaller, whatever, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's 300, 350. And I feel like that's like the medium, that's kind of up level. 350 is kind of like luxury, but we have to back it. So if we're 350, we as a shop, as an owner, we got to back it up and help the barbers as much as we can. And we try to, and then same thing with 300, but 300 is more normal. And with 300, like if everybody's charging let's say $50, you only need to do 6 haircuts to make booth. Come in on a Monday, do 6 cuts, half a day, and then you have 6 other days and make how much you want to make. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, because I didn't know if it was like based off of like you got to cover rent, you got to cover that stuff. So like, I have only 6 chairs in here. Like, how much do I have to charge? Like, just cover this rent?
Yeah, well, of course, the smaller the shop, the more booths probably gonna have to be too to cover everything. You gotta pay rent. We buy drinks for the fridges for the shop. We also buy little stuff too, like cool care, all that. all that stuff costs. Yeah. And so we definitely have to. You gotta charge so we can make a little money. If not, why are we doing as a owner? 100%. 100%. But we also don't want to get too crazy either, because I'm a barber, and if I wasn't a barber, I might be charging way more. But I'm a barber, and so it's like I would never pay $450 or $500 or even $400. I feel like that's just a little bit too much. So $350 is probably the max. Would probably be it might maybe go up $360, but that's just maybe because our rent's going up. Austin's expensive, so.
I was gonna say, like, how's this location compared to all the other ones?
I have the luxury. My brother owns this unit, so
nice.
Definitely get a slight discount. It's not taxable, like someone in here just taxing us, but definitely we made it to where we're both.
Was that one on East 5th expensive?
That's actually our cheapest one. Wow. It's actually our cheapest one, but that is our most headache. I ain't gonna lie. Not the barbers or the shop itself. It's just the way they run things at that building. It's definitely a headache. But it is our cheapest one. For some reason, it's crazy. But we do get a lot of headaches. So it's like we always contemplate, like, damn, do we move it? Do we not move it? Because we're always something's always going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of businesses in there.
Yeah, there's a lot, and it's a lot. Well, the good thing is a lot of foot traffic there.
Yeah.
Did price point go into where y'all's locations were going to be? And then also at the same time, if that was the case, how did you still pick good locations that's going to have a lot of foot traffic for you to like be successful?
Man, so when we thought of Triangle, it was like my brother told us about it, and we knew it was like a good plaza, so whatever. And that was our second location. We looked to expand, and it wasn't too far for our first location. It was like 10 minutes, if that. And so I was like, that's cool. Like, and if that gets filled up and we're booked, we can send the client 10 minutes down the road and they can still get a haircut, and vice versa. So that's how we went to there. But like for the most part, like this Box Boyz, my brother bought it 2 years ago with us in mind. I knew nothing about this area. I was just like, yeah, do it. I'll make it work. And so we never really did research in this area. Fifth kind of just came about. There was a barbershop that closed down. Like they had Fifth and Studio. Their barbershop closed down, and they're like, hey, y'all want to take over Studio? They're like, y'all want to take over this unit? And they comes with 2 or 3 barbers, and we're like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. So we ended up taking over that Studio location, worked a new deal out with the landlord. So that's how that worked. And then Fifth kind of worked in the same way. That business went out of business, so they had a bunch of barbers needed homes. and Stacks is over there, and Stacks was actually looking at that unit, and they're like, and we're like, we'll go tour with you, because we're like, if y'all take this unit, we're gonna take y'all's old unit, the one they're currently in. But Stacks decided to stay in their current unit, and we're like, well, we'll take it. We'll give it a shot. There's good barbers on the market right now. We need to give them homes. So luckily we had those good barbers end up being with Fadebox, and that's how Fit came about. And it's just been rolling ever since. So we kind of got lucky with businesses going out, and we did a bunch of handshake deals at first, and just gave it a shot. I think the only one that actually was thought out as far as like had time to actually build it out was Triangle. The first location, Triangle, and this Box Boyz. But other than that, it was just like, hey, let's hurry up, get it rolling. Week turnaround. So it worked out.
Do you have any future plans for expansion, like going south or anything like that?
I think I'm done in Austin.
Yeah.
It's just Austin's so many barbershops, man.
Yeah.
It's just, and I feel like like I said, we had 6 at one point, and it was just a revolving door. There's always a shop with availability, like station availability. And we cut it down to 4, and I think that's a perfect number. Like, it's perfect for me as running everything, but just a perfect bar for like amount of barbers, stuff like that. I think we have a good number, a good team. But we actually are looking into expanding in San Antonio.
Okay,
nice.
Nice.
We're working on that. Still not full yet, like full 100%. About 90% though. But we are working on that. So hopefully by maybe summertime, fall, we will have a San Antonio location. But I think that's our next move as a barbershop. But definitely want to try to dabble in something else that we can get our hands in. But as a barbershop brand itself, San Antonio's next.
And that's what I was gonna ask. Like, besides the barber sides of things, like what other business endeavors, or not even business endeavors, stuff you want to do for yourself? Like, do you have stuff in mind that you want to, going forward, that you kind of want to tackle? And like, I kind of want to step away from this barber stuff, and I run the company, but I'm not even cutting hair anymore.
If we can get our merch going, I just love creating, right? So like, if we can create stuff with merch or stuff like that, definitely want to do something like that. I talk to the guys all the time. Like, I want to get a creative studio where I can work in, but I can also create in, like, and we can do we could do our in-house photography in there. We can do our videos in there. We can do everything within this little creative studio. That's definitely what I want to do next, as far as like personal wise. But if we can get our hands, like, we talk about like little bars or something. I don't want to do like a club or nothing, but like little bars, wine bars, concept bars,
A kickback,
yeah, something small, chill.
Yeah.
Because I'm a chill guy. I don't be with all the big crowds. But if we can do something cool where you can just come in and have like the same thing, like regulars, and drink beer or something like that, something chill, so something like that. Definitely want to get my hands into that. But anything I can create is definitely, that's not just barbershop. I think nowadays I'm trying to transition from just barber to just creator, and so I definitely want to just create in anything I can. So, and I'm open. We're open to anything. I'm open to anything that's not barbershop, so.
That'd be cool. I mean, that's kind of it for. Well, not it. I mean, I could ask you a lot more, but I don't want to, because even you're tatted up, and just the art that like what makes you go on the mind and whatnot. But I go on and on and on. It just.
Yeah.
Is there anything? I've been living in a tattoo shop lately. I'm on my 5th session tomorrow.
Okay.
On my leg. Then I'm gonna take a break. I gotta be booked. So I booked like 5 sessions back to back, like back in October. Like, I'm gonna do that again, but man, they hurt. So
Man,
I ain't gonna lie. Like, every time I'm like, man, what am I doing, man? But I spent a lot of time, like, I think 2 years ago, I ended up getting it might have been last year. I don't know, but mom covered waist up. I spent time doing that, and now I'm working on my legs now. So, man, I don't know. I just enjoy tattoo. I feel like I said, standing out. Just trying to stand out, man, in any way I can.
Yeah.
That's when you're younger, that pain tolerance is a little bit higher than when you get older.
When I was doing it at 20, shoot, I can go all day. Now, man, I'm like 4 hours, I think, is my good spot. Like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
I've been doing 5-hour sessions, and I ain't gonna lie, that last hour is just crazy. I'm like, man, you gotta stop. But
you ever been like these athletes here where they sedate them and put them to sleep?
I wish I could do that, man.
Yeah, I don't trust that, bro.
I would not. Yeah.
If I had the money, I would. It's like, especially with my legs. Like I said, I had nothing on my legs going in, and if, like I said, if I could, man, I'd get 4 or 5 artists, knock me out for a whole day. Y'all tackle these legs and get them done.
You been going to the same people?
Same guy, same guys for about 5 years now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we put them on to everybody. So a lot of barbers. Turo went to them. Donnie, Edwin, clients.
Yeah.
A lot of clients. Shout out my guy Mike, man.
Shoot, I might be going to him too. I want to start my sleeve because I got my left chest. So
he's the best, man.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the tattoo artist, the version of me.
Okay.
He's efficient. He's quick. He's not and he's
Here in Austin?
Yeah, here in Pflugerville.
Oh, he's in
Perfect.
Pflugerville. Where at?
Vice and Virtue, right there on 1825.
Okay.
On Pecan Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like he's the tattoo version of me. Like he's just efficient, quick. Like we get we went all the way up from ankle up to right here right now. I think we're like 20 hours in.
I know that hurt.
Yeah, it hurt. But I see people like they spend 20 hours on just a kneecap or something.
Yeah.
Like, dang, y'all spent that much money? Nah, man, not my guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had like a nice respect for great tattoo artists, like the attention to detail and everything, and a good tattoo. I'm like, bro, how do you do
like
that,
my
man?
back, my sides, my stomach. He did my neck, and now he's doing my legs.
It's an art for sure.
Nah,
Yeah.
he's dope, man. He's dope.
That's fire. Did they ever like help you with like hey, when you coming in again, or like you don't know what you want? You're like, man, I really did. They just kind of help you figure something out.
I let him do whatever he wants. I give him like what I want. Like I say, like I want such and such, right? Do whatever with it. Do whatever. Like I'm not like I want this. I want it to look like this. I need it to be this size, this and that. It's like no, I want this topic. Do whatever you want.
Give him that creative freedom, because he's an artist.
I feel like as a creative, if you give I always give my tattoo artists creative freedom because like if you're trying to they're going to do their best work when they have creative freedom. So I just let them do whatever they want to do. Just as long as it's on topic, like that. And with my legs, I'm doing portraits and logos and stuff. So everything, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my legs, and I have all of it basically. So it's like, I'm just gonna do whatever I like, all the stuff people I like, logos I like, like everything I like. So we're just movies, TV shows, athletes, rappers, everything I like. I just do it that way. So my whole leg is gonna be covered. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
You have anything else before we hit this off?
No, I think that's it. Actually, since you're Austin local, random question, but like, what's like some of your like go-to spots to eat? Like, especially like working out here. Like, have you?
Bro, I'm the worst at this. Man. Bro, I eat the same thing. Man.
Simple man, I like it, just like me.
But Salvatore Pizza.
Shout out Isaac.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's probably one of my favorite pizzas down here.
Man, so good.
I put so many people, or at least I try to put so many people on it, bro. That pizza's so
good.
Busy Signal, right here. They have good food. Victor Grill, it's called Victor Grill. Loudmouth Pizza right here too is good. There's that baked potato place. Anything's baked potato.
Okay.
We eat that a lot down here too. But nah, I'm the worst, man. I eat the same places.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, we had Red Ash before.
Red Ash is good, man.
But I also just try to support like.
Yeah.
If I know the owner, if I know
For
the
sure.
people, I try
100%.
to support them. So yeah. So I just eat the same thing. Man. I'm a big Chipotle head.
Yeah.
Chipotle.
quick and easy. Gets the
that's
job
my
done.
shit.
Now it's gonna taste and whatnot.
Yeah, if I ain't just meal prepping some random stuff, I'm eating Chipotle probably.
Bet that.
Or pizza. Yeah.
Bet that.
See, I'm a simple man.
ZD, I know you've been quiet behind the camera, but you have anything you want to add to this before we hit this thing off, man?
Just me and my brother eat.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's been to Fadebox, like you said at the beginning. We appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. And we appreciate you just bringing this to the community. It's like
sure.
It's one of the hardest things to do is find a good barber, and I mean you're consistent with it. The people that you have in your shop.
That's what I wanted, man. Like at the end of the day, is like if we could just go into Fadebox and get a haircut, no matter who it is. Like it makes life easier, So like it's cool when I hear people say they move here from wherever they move from. They're like they just told me go to Fadebox. I'm like, that's the way to go. Just go to Fadebox.
And you just pick whoever, and you're gonna come out with a good cut, and that's
what it is.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's how it's supposed to be, you know. Like back in the day, you just go in a barbershop and whoever has an opening, they get a haircut. I mean, now people a little pickier. They want to make appointments and stuff like that with a certain barber, but if they can just literally make whoever is available appointment, hey man, that means I'm doing good as an owner. They can go in any chair and get a good haircut. So
Facts.
I like that. I like hearing that.
Yes, sir. Well, like I said, thank you for bringing it to community. Thank you for always striving and bringing out the merch and whatnot and expanding.
Got some more stuff coming, man. Got some dad hats. Got some we're gonna do some tees, some distressed tees. I think that's what I got coming next. And I'm working on these house slippers, man. I just can't figure it out yet. But I'm gonna get some house slippers going. I don't know, it's been my thing lately. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Yes, sir. Again, thank you for letting us do this. Long time coming. Finally got it done.
for sure.
Probably won't be the last, time we do something together,
Yeah, for sure.
We're always, down to help out and whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But
Sure, let's come
again,
down.
appreciate you taking time out your day, especially driving from Taylor. I know it's not
Yeah,
a
for sure.
close drive,
Really
and
appreciate that.
It's your day off, and you
Yeah.
gotta be home with the kids. So appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Break from the kids, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's a never-ending job.
Yeah.
100%.
But that'll do it for my boys over at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you for sure, man.